the Saturday matchups. Miami Dolphins going on the road to take on the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, how about this matchup? Dolphins, they still have this rap, right, of just not playing up to their competition. And, it's going to be also really cold at Arrowhead. I think I see like temperatures for this Saturday around like 10 degrees Fahrenheit or lower. And I think I saw a stat out there about the Dolphins, the past 10 games where the temperature, game time temp is like under 40, just 40 degrees. They're 0-10. So, that Miami weather definitely plays a factor. Tyreek Hill, he might slow down a little bit. I know he has played at Arrowhead before and such, but I think all in all, this game, I'm gonna pick the Chiefs. Chiefs, they're 4-point favorites right now. I'm gonna pick the over. I think they'll cover here. Dolphins defense, I just don't think they stack up that well against the Chiefs. I know the Chiefs offense hasn't been as spectacular as years past, but it looks like they're going to be missing their two edge rushers. I think that's going to be instrumental. Like, I think the key for to go against Patrick Mahomes is obviously getting some sort of pass rush, and then obviously for them, oftentimes if their wide receivers can catch the ball, then that's basically going to be halfway to their success there. So I got the Chiefs winning here. Like I mentioned before, Dolphins, it just seems like they don't play up to their competition, or when they're going against great competition, such as the Chiefs here, they just don't win those games, especially on the road in the playoffs. So I think they build off from their successes this year, but in the end, I'm going to go with the Chiefs and their experience. I think Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, I think all that's just going to be good enough for them to get a W here. Maybe we see a little bit Taylor, I don't know, but I think, the Chiefs prevail here.
Yeah, like you're saying with that Miami defense to lose Bradley Chubb after losing Jalen Phillips earlier in the year. They're also down Andrew Van Ginkel, Jerome Baker at linebacker. We're not sure if Xavier Howard's going to play at corner or Javon Allen at safety. I mean, this team is kind of in shambles at this point, especially on defense. It was a top 10 unit for the year overall in terms of yards, per game, but you just can't go in with that many guys, I think, out. I know they signed Bruce Irvin and Justin Houston, I believe, today. But, is that enough to get them, ingrained into, their defensive scheming and kind of get ready for Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes and everything that, he usually brings out in the playoffs? Like, it's a very, very tall ask. Maybe Jalen Waddle and Raheem Mostert are back on offense as well. If they're out, again, like you're just going in very shorthanded when you really can't be. And even if everyone was healthy, this would still be a very tough matchup for Miami. Kansas City, it hasn't been their best year. I feel like the offensive woes have been pretty noticeable. Kind of the inconsistencies week to week. It seems like they do make a lot of mental mistakes, mental errors. There's been a lot of drop passes throughout the year that have led to big losses for Kansas City. But in a lot of ways, they kind of remind me of the New England Patriots of old. There were many, many Patriots teams that we saw walking into the playoffs where we're like, yeah, they're just, middle seeds here for the AFC. They took care of the AFC East, but in the same way, like, it's the Patriots. And I just feel like Patrick Mahomes, you get the playoffs going, you get him in that kind of environment and he's going to thrive. And this isn't my favorite Chiefs team, that they've had over the years, but that defense has been stout all year. Top two team on that end. We know what they can bring offensively if Patrick Mahomes just starts to, dial it in a bit. But, at home, you want to throw the weather on top of that for sure. Like that's just another, element to it, which it does matter because, Miami's obviously much more comfortable in the sun. So yeah, man, KC, and I don't think this one's going to be a very tight game. I see, a touchdown or more, for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the key, if there is some sort of upset to be pulled off, is like you mentioned, Irvin or Houston. If they pull off some sort of, I don't know, like Joe Flacco equivalent, right? Just off the couch, veteran, coming into the situation, just be like, oh yeah, I know how to play this football game, right? And get pressure on Patrick Mahomes. Also, I think if they're able to run the ball here, they do have obviously a really good running attack there. If they're able to get the ball rolling there, that's less time for Patrick Mahomes or Travis Kelce to make any type of plays out there on the offensive side. So, I think that could be, if they play more of a ball control type of offense, I think that could be in favor for the Dolphins. But, a lot of ifs, ands, and buts, a lot of injuries, like we talked about on the Dolphins defense. So, all in all, I think both of us say we feel pretty good about the Chiefs and their chances of winning here over the Dolphins.